Then Kat got involved again. Why does this dumbass keep getting involved in drama? Saying, none of my business, but before that spirals out of control, already did on Twitter, that's not what Angela said. But it is what Angela said. Y'all, the Big Brother alum on social media this season have been far more entertaining than the feeds. The drama that they are causing with some of their stupid selves has definitely been entertaining, and I want to talk about some of it today. I almost talked about it a week ago when the alumni were trying to drag Jason for using emotions to manipulate Angela. How dare he use his real dead mother for emotions? My problem with that is the people that were speaking out the loudest about it are people on seasons that did worse. Mostly people on seasons that had a lot of racism and used racism to their advantage. We had Kat Dunn on Big Brother 21, one of the most racist seasons, saying this is officially a Jason hate account. We had Matt Turner, who had so many microaggressions in a cast with Taylor, where a lot of those people had microaggressions towards Taylor. Matt Turner said stuff like, is this dude genuinely insane? What the hell is this? Later, Matt Turner saying stand card set on fire, destroyed and set back. But of course, I have to drag Andy, the winner of Big Brother 15, the most racist season. I feel like I have to drag Andy every couple of seasons because he's always in social media making an ass out of himself, wanting attention, talking about the seasons, being a huge hypocrite. He won his season because he was able to rely on how racist that season was to help him skate by. Andy said, I find Jason's behavior towards Angela to be extremely off-putting and for seemingly no reason. It's mean and cruel and not fun and completely unnecessary. Lame. Andy also had racist remarks against Helen on his season that he tries to sweep under the rug. My problem with these alumni coming out to attack Jason in defense of Angela, it just shows how big of a sheep they are. You know, we sit here and wonder why every season of Big Brother, the house is full of sheep. This is why they have such huge alliances most seasons. These people are sheep. They just want to kiss each other's asses, to get along, to attack newbies, to try and hold up an alumni who's played before in Angela. It's so pathetic, really. Andy had a breakdown over people calling him out on Twitter, saying, because this was on the chat BCC bullshit that the Big Brother players used to chat about the game to try and not get dragged on Twitter. They still get dragged on Twitter. Andy said, people on Twitter are saying that many of us have no right to be upset by Jason laughing at Angela after using his dead mom to manipulate her, calling Dan and Matt Hoffman as examples. I mean, yeah, Matt had a much worse thing. They said, Andy said, sure, Dan swore on the Bible and Matt lied about his wife dying of a disease. But Andy's defense is he's mad because it was for no reason. And then he says, also, lots of these people saying I have no right to talk as if I haven't shown for literally over a decade that I grew from my experience and learned from my mistakes. Maybe I'll just pivot and become mega. Seems to be what everyone wants. Yeah, Andy, go ahead and do that. Who gives a fuck? I think Andy is full of shit here, talking about how he's grown from his experiences and his mistakes, when every season he's on social media still making an ass of himself. Every single season he's on social media making an ass of himself. He also posted a picture with him and Helen to say, hey, look, I'm not racist. But let's move on to the drama that happened over the past 24 hours. Ashley, our winner from last season, who I defended very much last season. But, you know, lately I've said she posts too much on social media. She does too much on social media. But I'm going to defend her today. And anyone who doesn't like it, oh well. She talked about something that Angela said on feeds, saying, can the BB26 players in this chat confirm or deny Angela's claims on feeds a few minutes ago that Rubina only stayed over Cedric because she was of Asian descent and they wanted Filipina representation? Quinn said no, that didn't happen. Then Kat got involved again. Why does this dumbass keep getting involved in drama when it's about something controversial, especially if it's about race, coming from one of the most racist seasons, saying, none of my business, but before that spirals out of control, already did on Twitter, that's not what Angela said, but it is what Angela said. Now, it's going to be hard to hear this first part because people were yelling in the background.
She wanted to be here because she was Filipina, and she wanted to kind of like be the first
They want to hear what
in
you're
her
saying.
family to do something like this.
What are you saying?
When the yelling's going on, she's talking about how Rubina was Filipina and she wanted to be the first in her family to do this. And then seconds later, she says this is the reason that Rubina stayed in the game and the only reason that Rubina stayed in the game.
She had a trio. She was a threat, and yet we kept her.
Because you felt bad?
Yes. She cried.
That's not what happened. There was actually strategy behind that. Chemo and T-Core were flipping on a big alliance. I sat here and talked about it that season. T-Core's game was very underrated, although in the end she was whack. But at least on a game level, I still love T-Core. But she and Chemo wanted to flip on a big alliance. No, Rubina did not just stay because she was Filipina, like Angela did say during that conversation. Everybody felt bad for her. She didn't want to go yet. She was crying. Yeah, that helped. But strategically, there was still strategy behind it. Well, with Ashley getting called out on social media, because it's easy to pile onto Ashley because she does say too much. She says too much on social media, and then people pile on her. Whether it's fans or alumni, everyone's been still trying to drag Morgan stands still trying to drag Ashley because, God forbid, Ashley won last season and not Morgan. They were still trying to say Ashley hates Morgan while she posted a recent picture of them together saying a few weeks ago, something she never posted, they met up. She said, everyone has their opinions, and for better or for worse, that has nothing to do with me. She talked about Morgan playing a great game, Vince playing a great game. Morgan decided to respond to this, to continue to cause drama, saying, Ashley, you and I both know why this photo was taken. It represented a cordial moment in a shared space, not a change in our relationship. I think it's important that context isn't lost when moments like this are shared publicly. I don't think Morgan needed to do this other than getting people to jump on a Ashley hate train, even though what Ashley said, Angela said, was correct. So two things can be true. Does Ashley post too much on social media? Yes. She's Gen Z and she's very much a social media hoe. But was Ashley right about what Angela tried to say? Yes. Now, Ashley's response was very Sagittarius. She went low and said, how's Vince though? But I actually like this from Ashley because where Morgan has consistently gone wrong since the end of last season is trying to not drag Vince. But after last season, she was talking a lot of shit about Ashley's game. Morgan was acting like she should have won, talking shit about Ashley's game. She was bitter that she didn't lose. But she was never bitter on social media about Vince, who was in a relationship, played her ass, acting like they had a chance together after the show. In fact, a few weeks ago, she was on a live still crying about Vince a year later and saying things like this.
So it's like, I'm looking forward to like continuing to heal and build relationships with the castmates that are interested in doing so.
I think people are trying to rewrite history right now. That it was always Ashley's fault that her and Morgan were not getting along, and that's not true. Morgan was being very bitter about Ashley after the end of last season. They had an incident in a car that Ashley did talk about online, but that's because other people talked about it first. But I covered videos after last season for a couple of months. You could go back and watch them. Morgan was the problem. Morgan did not try and have a relationship with Ashley nor Mickey, God rest her soul. And I think she should regret holding a grudge against Mickey still. And maybe that is why she was crying in a live about how things transpired with Vince and the aftermath of last season, Mickey's death, all of that. She still never dragged Vince, though. She's only cried about Vince in a live. In fact, there's many posts on social media about how Morgan didn't even want to have anything to do with a lot of people from her season. She's been a lot like a lot of other alumni. They're always just looking for clout. Who can they have clout with on the outside? Well, Ashley posted text that I'm not going to get into from Morgan to prove that she's the one that set up the coffee date in the first place, and now she's the one responding to Ashley's comments when all Ashley was trying to do was trying to get the fans to stop pitting them against each other. Morgan said we were cordial. No one was disputing that. What I questioned was the need to post a photo and now private text to validate it. I do think Ashley should not have posted private text messages. But I think Ashley is also right when she said, Morgan, you came at me for no reason. Reread the tweet. It simply says, I don't hate you. I'm trying to get the fans to stop putting us against each other. And here you go, causing chaos. What was the point? I don't follow you on any platform. Nobody thinks we are besties. Morgan's excuse was, I don't care that Ashley won Big Brother 27. What I care about is my name being attached to someone who has a new controversy every other day because of the type of person she is. I think Morgan is going too far to try and soil Ashley's name. Does Ashley do too much on social media sometimes? Yes, it even gets on my nerves, and I like Ashley. I mean, it's just very Sagittarius of her, honestly, even though I do like Sagittarius women. But what I see from Morgan here with this post is her just trying to pile on Ashley again. It is cool right now to pile on Ashley, whether it's alumni, whether it's just regular people on social media, because Ashley can be annoying. But in this instance, Ashley was right about what Angela said. And furthermore, these people acting like Ashley is the devil, when the people that have been speaking up the most on social media are from these racist ass seasons. McCrae, also from the most racist season, Big Brother 15, said never seen a winner crash out so hard after their season. And so yeah, when you have some of the players from the most racist seasons of Big Brother coming out to hate on Ashley, yeah, I thought it was time to get on here and defend Ashley yet again. And I will keep doing so. Can Ashley be very annoying? But when she's right, she's right. And in this instance, she was right. And the people that have been the loudest have been people like Kat fucking Dunn, disgusting. Andy, horrible. McCrae coming out from fucking caves, disgusting as well.